This is an honest review of Outward. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Alright guys, so this game is just, so disappointing. This is just, yeah, they wanted to make this game like Skyrim. It's not. In some ways it's better, other ways it's completely not. So let's just get into this. We're gonna start with the bad stuff first and end with the good stuff. So the bad stuff. The voice acting is terrible. I don't know what they thought about doing this, but you will be in dialogue, and the voices will only be spoken at certain parts of the dialogue. So they might be just in the beginning, they might be just in the middle, or sometimes the poor bastards will just paraphrase what they're saying and not even read what he is supposed to be actually saying. It's a very weird thing.
Family and are not thinking straight. If I could, that gives you a few days to pay back the money. Either gather the money or earn a tribal favor, and they won't be able to touch you. Once you can make the payment, come see me. Please find a way to make it work.
The combat is awful. It's just terrible in regards to, it just kind of feels loppy. I was using a lot of the archery and the swords. It's just, it's worse than Skyrim, but I didn't really mind Skyrim's combat. It was sort of charming just with the whole game. But yeah, now I want to go ahead and preface because I forgot. I have 2.1 hours in this game. I was going to get more, and I'm going to bring up why I didn't continue to play later on, so don't leave. And then the NPCs are just lifeless. They're careless, they're just thoughtless, they're dead. They're walking zombies. It's just a deathless world. Well, not deathless, they're just full of death. You can't really interact with them. They just feel like they're there. And speaking of feeling like they're there, that's what the whole world feels like. The whole world feels like it's just here. It feels like this was a project done by someone who's made an RPG open world a couple of times, and this was like a big project that they took on. The world doesn't feel full. It doesn't feel real. It just kind of feels slopped together. You'll see buildings, well, and some castles and stuff, and you're like, is that real? Is it real? I can't tell. But then other times you'll go into buildings on the inside and you're like, oh yeah, like, wow, this is like really good. It's very just, the whole tone to this game is just disappointment, because I wanted this to be good. I really did. I've beaten Skyrim, 20 plus times, quite literally, and I wanted this just to kind of be a different, type of experience, and it certainly was different, but not in a good way. So yeah, the environment and the entire layout of the world is just a little odd, and it's disappointing. So the big bad beast that caused me to not be able to continue to play, and this isn't just my problem. I actually checked the forums just to make sure that I wasn't doing something wrong and this is something that is happening. I went to load into the game just now, right before I started this review, and my save was deleted. So I didn't have the will to go through all of that again. Just another 2 hours just of progress deleted. Gone. So that is, and I also checked to see when this game came out, just to make sure. This game came out in 2018. The state of this game shouldn't be anywhere of where it is, and my whole mindset of this game has been changed ever since I've figured out those two things. So let's get into the good stuff now. The good stuff is the cooking is very good. I like the way you do it. It's not overly complicated, but it's still enough to, I need to make sure that I have these ingredients to be able to make sure that I can make this meal. It's really neat how whenever you leave a certain main area, by the way, the worlds are really big that you're in. The maps are pretty decent size. It's just a shame that world itself is just shit. But when you leave to go travel to a different land, you have to prep your rations for the trip. And if you don't prep the rations, you'll die. You make rations by taking any sort of food, albeit fish, meat, whatever. You combine it with salt, and you're good to go. Now, certain trips will take a certain amount of rations that you'll need. And so that's really immersive. It's really cool getting together to gather all that stuff together. and you know, you feel like you're really prepping for a trip there. The inventory is very small. It forces you to manage what you have. It's a weight system. If you go above the weight threshold, it gets too heavy and you start slowing down. And the combat is very unforgiving, which is something that I really like. This whole game, it oozes. It wants you to have an open world survival. It's very it wants to be immersive. It wants to be hardcore, and in certain aspects it is. The combat is, you can't just run in there like a prick. You need to have a plan. That's why whenever I started with sword, and then I moved to archery because I became a little bitch and I couldn't take the heat of going in and just getting wrecked. So the first time I died, I thought, all right, shit, all right, damn, you know, all right, I'll just respawn. But they make it of a very RPG-ish, you know, real world type of thing. At least the first couple of times. When you die, it gives you sort of this story about, oh, you were found by this person and they took you to their camp, they nursed you to health, and by the time you woke up, they didn't stick around, but they made sure you were safe enough to sleep, and, you know, they've got all your stuff together, and they left you a note and a potion to make sure that you're back up and running or something like that. And so you wake up, and you'll wake up at this camp that this person set up for you, and it's really nice. I mean, I never had anything like that in any other game before, and it sort of makes, I guess it kind of makes death pointless in a way, but they give an explanation onto why you didn't die. The only problem is sometimes it can get really annoying, because I would have been across the map. I'll die, and it'll say, oh, someone from this town saved you, and you woke up, and, you know, they nursed you back to health and all that. And you'll wake up on the other side of the map from where you were before. So then you gotta walk all the way back just to get back where you were. You know, it's sort of unnecessary, but I do like what they do with that. Another thing is on the inside of forts and environments. The inside of environments, they look really good. They're very immersive. You really feel like you're there. So they did really good on that. Also, I should have mentioned this back when I was talking about the cooking. The crafting in this game in general is very much like Green Hell. So you can have recipes that will tell you how to craft stuff. So you'll put your item in, you know, you'll craft it, you'll click OK, and it crafts and makes the item. However, you can also put in random stuff and see if something else will come out. So you can discover these recipes on your own, which is really nice. It very much took me back to Green Hell about that. And that was one thing about Green Hell that I really enjoyed, because it made it more immersive. You know, look, let's just throw together a stick, a rock, and some linen, and let's just see what it makes. You know, it makes it that makes it very immersive as well. And also just the UI in general, it's not very complicated. The UI is nice. I mean, it's not super clean, but it is clean enough to where after about 5 to 10 minutes, you know, you can get used to it. It's not gonna be straining on your mental processes or anything like that. Besides that, with this bug, just deleting progress, I'm gonna tell you right now, at first, I was going to recommend to buy this only if it was on sale and if you wanted to try to, you know, you just wanted to scratch an itch. Here's the thing, this game isn't meant for the sprinters. This is a marathon game. If you can get over how dead the environment and just the entire world is and all the NPCs, I could see how someone could get immersed in this. If you really wanted to, if you had the will to, I could see how you could do it. But, you know, if I knew what I was getting into when I bought this, I wouldn't have touched it. It's very disappointing, and with the bug just deleting all of your progress, I mean, it's a hit or miss. It's like playing Russian roulette. I mean, imagine you put in 20 hours and you come in and the game's just gone. I mean, I'd be pissed. So, wow, so disappointing. I definitely do not recommend buying this game for all those reasons, but it's not a bad game. It has a lot of potential. I don't think they're gonna make any additions though. Like I said, I mean, this game's been out since 2018, so yeah, overall, pretty disappointing, and that's the final verdict. So, appreciate you guys watching. We'll see you in the next one.